Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today it's going to be about hand gestures in South Korea. Koreans use a lot of body languages and hand gestures to communicate. It is very important that if you're coming to South Korea, you know these hand gestures. Yeah. Most especially if you think you're somebody who is outgoing and will be meeting, or you're planning on making Korean friends. So, for example, when you will be hanging out with your Korean friends, even when you're like taking pictures, you would have to do hand gestures. So, it is important that you know these hand gestures. So, not to take too much of your time, the first one is this sign. Can you guess? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that means love. Yeah, it means love. When you do it like this, it means love. Like this. Love. It's heart. It's heart. Actually, it's the heart, which signifies love. So Koreans will always do it to people to show that I love you, or yeah, just to say that I love you. Even if you guys are not lovers, you could still do those type of gestures. It doesn't really mean that you should be lovers before you could tell somebody that you love them, right? So keep that in mind, that whenever you're like, for example, whenever you're taking pictures, Koreans will always make those signs when they're taking pictures. So like these pictures, this one, this one, this one, you will see the gestures. Koreans always make it whenever they're taking pictures. So remember, you would always have to make those gestures in most cases when you're with your friends. Let's say you go out to hang out, maybe go visit a place or tour, and you decide to take a picture, you would find people making those gestures. Okay, so let's go to the second one. The second one is this sign, or this sign. It's the same though. Yeah, like this, the V sign. What does it mean? 1, 2, 3. It's the peace sign. Whenever you see Koreans making this sign, it means peace, and they always do it when they want to take pictures. It is important for you to know gestures. Actually, the V sign is used in most Asian countries. It's sort of a culture for most Asian countries, but Koreans equally use it, especially when they're taking pictures. So you need to know signs when you are visiting any country. It's good for communication so that you don't get mixed up, because it is important to equally know that gestures change per country. Yeah. For example, there is this sign. When people do it like this in Korea, it means something different in some other cultures. Something really bad. While for example, it means something really bad when you hit your hand like this. In Korea, it means something really bad. But in other countries, it could mean you're like wishing to have too much money. So it is important to know gestures before you visit any country, so that you don't go and do such a gesture and then people get angry at you. Yeah, because they'll interpret it differently. But this sign is the peace sign in South Korea. When people do this, it means peace. Guys, this is serious. Come on. I see you guys watching my videos and you're not subscribing to the channel. Like, I see a whole lot of the number of people watching who have not subscribed are way more than the number of people who've subscribed. Come on. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and then hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any eventual video. Come on, guys. Okay. The next one, the third one that could cause a lot of confusion.
Yes!
If you visit South Korea, is this sign. For example, in some countries they do it like this, which means come. But know that if you're in South Korea, you have to do it like this. You have to do the palms down, the fingers down, and then you're like covering your palms, doing this way. Do it this way. Don't do it like this. It will mean completely something different in South Korea. So when people do that, they're actually requesting that you should come over. So it is important that you do it the right way when you're in South Korea, so that you don't create some sort of a cultural shock. Okay? So keep that in mind while living in Korea or while visiting Korea, even if it's like for a very short period of time. You have to know these gestures so that you don't create some sort of a confusion with some Korean somewhere, okay? And most importantly, with that sign, when you do it this way, Koreans might think you're calling an animal, okay? So make sure you do it the right way. Like I said, the palms down and then Ilwa, Ilwaba, come. Don't do it like this. They might think you're calling your animal. They might think you're confusing them with an animal. So don't do it, okay? So guys, this one is very serious. Remember, Korea is a hierarchical society. So this one is super serious. You know, people sometimes, they give with one hand, okay? But in Korea, don't do it. Always make sure you give with your two hands. Give with your two hands, okay? Make sure you give with your two hands. If you don't give you with your two hands, you'll be considered to be very disrespectful, okay? So make sure you always give with your two hands and then take with your two hands. Yeah. It's very important that you give with your two hands and then take with your two hands while living in South Korea, so as not to create enemies. The importance of living life is to make enemies and not to create more, okay? Especially when you are visiting a society that is still very closed like South Korea. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of very closed, because if you have to compare the Korean culture with Western culture, they are still getting there. Yeah, still have to give them some time, which means we have to understand them just as they are understanding us, that we are foreigners, okay, while living in South Korea. So make sure you remember to always give with your two hands, especially to an elderly person, and receive with your two hands. Normally we always usually receive with our two hands, even in our own societies, but some people still do it with one hand and then we still let it slide, okay? But in South Korea, don't do it. It's a hierarchical society and respect is something that is very much valued here. The next one is this. What does it mean when somebody does this? 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it means good job. Well done. When you do something, when you accomplish something, and then they want to compliment you, they do this sign. It simply means good job, well done, you did well, okay? So don't get confused when somebody does this. The person is simply telling you good job, you did well, you've done well, okay? So remember, hand gestures are very important. Koreans use it a lot, yeah, because some of them cannot speak English. So the only way they can express themselves is by doing the body language, the sign language. So it's important for you to know some of these hand gestures so that you can communicate with them correctly. When a Korean does something well and you want to compliment them, just do good job, okay? Good job, guy. The next hand gesture is this one. Or this. Sometimes they do it like this or like this. What does it mean? 3 seconds for you to guess. 1, 2, 3. It means no. It means somebody's refusing. It's a refusal sign. In some countries, people do but this to tell you no. But Koreans will always tell you no by doing this hand gesture, the X, crossing two hands. When a Korean does this, it means it's a sign of a refusal. It's either you cannot do that, you shouldn't do that, do not do that. Okay? So it's very important when you see a Korean doing this, the Korean is telling you do. The Korean is simply telling you don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. The Korean is saying it's a no. It's a refusal sign. So you better stop doing what you're doing when you see that sign. Okay? It's very important because, like I said, they communicate a lot with sign gestures. The 7th hand gesture, and this one is when you see them doing this. when they cover their mouth. Especially, you would notice this most especially when you go out for maybe breakfast, lunch, or dinner. When they're talking and then they want to laugh, they would cover their mouth. Yeah, it's very important, most especially with girls. So, as far as that hand gesture is concerned, as far as Korean culture is concerned, we don't really know why they do that, but I think it is to avoid embarrassment in most cases. So when they are laughing, they don't want to show their teeth out. They laugh and they cover their mouth. So don't take it wrongly. Just understand that that's how most women, when they are in the midst of men, they react. Even when they are in the presence of other women who are like older than them, as far as age is concerned, they would not talk, they would not laugh while exposing their teeth. Understand that? And that's just the culture, okay? Right, so that was, I think, sign gesture number 7. Sign gesture number 8. Who can guess this? When they do this. When they do this. Or when they do this. What is this one? And what is this one? Okay, this one means okay. Okay. Understood. Okay. And what is this one? This one means money. Coin. So when you see Koreans doing this, it means money. And when you see Koreans doing this, it means they're confirming what you're doing. Like maybe you might ask, should I do it this way? And then the person, to confirm that yes, do it this way, the person would do this sign gesture. It means okay. And then when you see them doing this, it's either they're asking you for more money or they're telling you something about money. It all depends on the conversation that you guys are having. For example, if you ask the person, do you have a lot of money? The person wants to ask if you have a lot of money. The person will say, ton manta. They'll do it and then show this sign. And then, for okay, they'll do this one. Okay? So, it's important not to confuse the two. With the fingers out, it means money. When they do it in the way that you see their palm, it means okay. It's okay. Nice. Make sure you remember that. Hand gesture is very important. They use it a lot in South Korea. The next one is this sign. This sign. This sign. This one. What is this? 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. The pinky sign. What does it mean? It means promise. Yaksok. So if you promise to do something to somebody, they would always want you to do this to make sure that you're really going to do it. Okay? So when you do this with a Korean, make sure you fulfill the promise. Don't break your promise. Please. They believe a lot in people telling truth. They don't believe too much in people telling lies. So if a promise is a promise, if you tell a Korean you will be somewhere at 2 p.m. to meet them at 2 p.m., make sure you're there at 2 p.m. Don't go late. Okay? If you tell a Korean you will do this or that, make sure you fulfill it. Don't break the promise. Okay? It's very important. So this sign, the pinky sign, pinky finger, when they are hooked together like this, it means promise. Okay, the last but not the least is this sign. What is this? Tell me, come on. What is this sign? 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. It's the heart sign. It means I love you. You equally have this one or this one. How do they do that? Creating the heart sign. It equally means I love you. When they do this, saranghanda, sarangheyo, it means I love you. I love you too. Okay? Make sure you remember that. You would always find them doing that. Even when they meet their celebrities, you'll see their celebrities doing that heart sign, or they will do this. It simply means they're telling their fans that they love them. It's very common in the Korean society. It's very common when you meet people and they are about to separate or they meet their idols. They'll always do those signs. So, like I said, signs are very important in South Korea. Okay, so this is the end of the video, and then I'll see you in the next one.